Hello, hello, hello. It's Jet, and today we're actually working with Exocateers, and we're going to be talking. We're going to be working with their tank line. And the point of today's video is to go over the tank defaults and their jobs. This is episode 2 in this series that we just started on Overwatch defaults and jobs. So with all that said, let's go ahead and get started. We also have Cusco in here as well. Okay, so let's get started. The tank role. Actually, before we get to tanks, let's actually talk about what the heck I'm talking about when I say defaults and jobs. So let's boil this down to the simplest thing, as simple as possible. We're playing Overwatch, right? What's the point of Overwatch? What do?
Kill
Stuff. Okay, I like it.
And take objectives and win.
Right, and control objective. And really the biggest one is which one?
Kill.
Win.
It's fun, but if you don't control the objective, you're still going to lose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or more than likely. If the other team is in controlling objective and you guys are just killing stuff, it's just going to be a really long game.
You have to be able to contest the objective if you're not able. Yeah, you have to be able to contest the objective. Otherwise, they just will touch cart or cap the point every time and win immediately.
Right. But
even if you're killing.
Killing stuff is a tool for controlling objectives. Okay? So that's the default of Overwatch. Now we're going to break this down. In Overwatch, there's attackers and there's defenders. Now, is anyone like right now thinking, okay, this is really basic, dumb shit. Of course I know this. Is anyone thinking this?
No.
Okay, cool.
I didn't know any of this.
It's still important that we go over this because it's going to build up. So if you're feeling that, this is boring shit, it's going to ramp up quickly. Isn't that right, Cusco?
Yes.
we were getting in the weeds earlier. Yeah. Okay. So with attackers, what's our objective as attackers? What's our default?
Attackers need to make sure that they capture every objective and push the objective all the way to the end.
Capture the objective. What are some general resources that will prevent us from doing that? And
so like things the enemy have to stop us from doing that?
Right, but there's something even in general that we both have. Attackers and defenders both have this resource. Lives?
Tanks.
Okay. Yeah, players on the field, so don't die. That applies to both. And that's that we actually go over that in the first video. So the first thing is what I'm coming to is time. And attacking time is your enemy. And if you're defending, time is your friend. Okay,
Gotcha.
But that's basically. So are we kind of like starting to understand? And you see, I'm just like boiling this down, and how we kind of understand like what defaults are. So definitely watch when you get a chance the player defaults. But right now I want to get into tanks, like what the job of a tank is, because like this is the tank VOD. Okay, so how does a tank player contribute to controlling objectives?
They take space and sometimes not their main job, but they take space most of the time and can kill things to protect their team to make sure that you can take the space and push forward.
Okay, cool. Take space and confirm kills. Let's talk about space. What is space in Overwatch?
Space is basically all of the area that the defending team is holding and making sure that you aren't supposed to be able to have.
So the actual positions we have available to us, right?
Yes.
And let's actually add a word, the safe positions.
Yes.
So let's talk about safe positions. What are safe positions?
Positions in which we're not threatened by the enemy team and can easily hold.
Right, where we won't die easily.
Yeah.
You guys with me so far?
Yep.
Is this crystal clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Never
Okay,
been more clear.
great. And if you have questions, feel free to chime in.
I have a question. Are you supposed to be sharing your screen right now?
I actually am. Thank you.
I was about to ask that as well.
Attention to
I was like,
detail.
I've been like writing stuff. It's being recorded,
Yeah.
but I haven't been sharing my screen. I apologize. This is all I've written so far, anyway. I'm glad I'm glad someone did something. It's totally cool. Okay, so we're talking about safe position. What we said, a safe position is where we won't die easily. But let's actually talk about. So we define safe. Now let's actually talk about positions. With positioning, there's 2 rules that goes to it. Do you guys know what they are?
Oh, we just talked about it. It's basically you need to understand where the enemy can see you and where you can see the enemy. So like
Right.
sight lines.
So the
and
first
cover.
rule is, am I safe? What's the second rule?
Can I do my job?
Can I do my job? Exactly.
Thank you.
All right, and this leads us back to what a tank player's job is. It's taking space, and it's confirmed kills. We've talked about space. Space is the position we have available to us. Okay. Now it's time to talk about lane control. So what's a lane in Overwatch?
A lane is a normally quote unquote long area that someone can see straight down that allows a DPS or a tank to shoot through and easily do poke.
Right. It's a path that leads to an objective.
Yeah.
How many lanes are there generally?
Normally 2 or 3.
There's normally 3. On shit maps, there's 2. One of the reasons why 2CP is so fucking boring to play is that there's normally just 2 lanes. So if you think about in Volskaya, we have the choke and then the high ground on the right. And even with the high ground on the right, you can really go left or right. To the third lane, Volk's one of the better ones because there are the little lifts that have the left lane. So we have like the little windows here.
Yeah.
And then there's
On
the
second
lifts that
point.
go through. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So that's just an example of that. Shit. Erase all this crap. Okay. So it's very much important for tanks to have lane control. There's 3 of them. Does anyone know their names?
The lanes?
Yes, the name of the lanes.
Normally it's just left, middle, right.
Left, middle, or main, and
Yeah.
right. Where does our main tank generally play?
Main.
On main, normally.
Funny how that works.
But this is Reinhardt generally and Orisa. Sometimes on Orisa. But do Ball and Monkey generally play on main lane?
No, they normally play
They
on
normally
one of the
playing
side lanes.
on the off lanes, yes. So now with that said, let's actually go into the 2 different types of tanks that we have. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this. And put it here. Okay. Now we can delete all this. All right, 2 different types of tanks. We have main tank. What's the other one?
Off tank.
Off tank. Right. Who are the main tanks?
Reinhardt, Oriso, Winston, Roadhog, and Ball.
You think Roadhog's a main tank?
He's either.
Interesting. Do you agree with that, Cusco?
Yes.
No.
Why do you think he's an off tank? Or he's
Hog
an
Zarya.
man?
So Roadhog's a main tank because he's really weird. But when you play him like a main tank, but he's technically an off tank. So it's whatever you choose to classify him as, but he's basically the main person that's pushing in front of the team to take damage and feed your healers and make the space for your team. So like if you're playing him with Sigma, normally Sigma's the one actually protecting your back line, and Roadhog's the one up front taking all the space.
Interesting. We're going to move on, but I think you're onto something. Generally though, Roadhog's an off tank.
Yes.
That's what most of the community, because I think you're onto something, and this is one of the things I encourage you guys to do is to look at the game differently. I'm just kind of going over. I'm just kind of like regurgitating things that I've heard that I've also pieced together from playing the game over time. Winston's a main tank, and then Ball's a main tank. All right, let's talk about off tanks. What are the other ones? And just basically, if they're not
Roadhog, Zarya, Diva, Sigma.
Diva, Sigma. Okay. So what makes a main tank a main tank?
Makes the space normally and like protects like the front of their team where they're trying to take the space.
They possess abilities that create the most space. Positioning is repositioning is easy with them because they have shields. Minus Ball. He creates his space through displacement, where Ryan and Orisa just take space with their presence, and then Monkey takes space by essentially splitting the enemy team in half. At least what they should be doing. So they make it easy to reposition and such. What's an off tank do?
Off tank is normally the person that actually protects their team and makes sure that your main tank and or
Off tank
DPS can make the best of their
off tank peels when needed and controls off lanes. All right, so let's talk about the shield tanks for main tank, shield tanks, and then the more divey tanks. All right, so which ones are the shield tanks? Which are the dive tanks?
Orisa and Ryan are shield, and then Winston and Ball are dive.
Yeah. Monkey.
Do you want the off tanks too?
Ball. We'll get to that. We're kind of like diving deeper into shield tanks a little bit more because now that we're kind of understanding like what our jobs are. Oh, before we move on, what are some other jobs of the main tank? Kuski, you want to add something here?
No.
Okay. Does anybody else want to add something?
Fat shatters. No, not really.
I
mean, utilizing your abilities to the best that you can, but that's for all of them. Like really understanding shield placement and such.
Right.
I guess that's something you could say. Since that's really a main thing.
I think that still like falls under that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just mechanics for specific role as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So shield tanks. We have Ryan. What does Ryan like to do? What are his default?
W key.
Okay, so he
pushes forward to take space using
takes
his
space
body.
With presence.
Yeah.
Okay. What are some things he's bad at?
Range.
No range. He's got shit for range. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Orisa. What is she like?
She is basically Bastion, but she can walk around and deploy a shield.
She likes range.
Yeah.
So needs short.
Big yummy on the range.
Sightlines. Has range, but bad up close. Okay, so let's talk a Ryan versus Orisa matchup. If I'm the Ryan player, what do I want to do?
As a Ryan player, you want to get up in her face. You want to really make it hard for her to be at the advantage. You want to make it so her shield doesn't have a lot of value because she can't easily reposition her shield.
Right, and we want to do that fast.
Yeah.
What about the Orisa versus Ryan? What do we do?
You want to play on the high ground because he can't easily move to take.
We want to keep him the fuck away from us. That's what we want to do.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, and then let's talk about the dive tanks. What's the job of a dive tank?
Get on the back line normally, or normally just displace them out of
pester the back line. So what are some resources that Monkey and Ball need in order to like be good at this?
They need healers that work appropriately with the composition they're running.
So
like
healers that can
Ana.
see them.
Yeah. Except Ball, because Ball just self-sustains.
There's something a little more important than healing right now, though, because actually most of the time the healers aren't going to have LOS. Like you might have a Zen Orb for a little bit.
Cooldown.
But usually both teams' backlines aren't in LOS of each other. So cooldown management is our key here. So example, for Monkey, it's better to walk up to them, zap, 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 do your thing, and then jump out. Use disengage tools.
Yeah, understanding your character's kit and how to use it to be advantaged to engage and disengage.
Right. And in coordinated play, we want our DPS to be with us.
Yes, sir.
So generally, when you're running dive, we want to have a tracer, or a Genji, some sort of diver DPS. But we'll get into that in the DPS VOD. Right now, we're talking about Monkey and Ball. Okay, let's get into some specifics of our off tanks. Who are some of our brawl off tanks?
Zarya, Diva, and you could say Roadhog, but he's not the best.
I think Roadhog is better in spam.
Yeah.
So Zarya, Diva, and who's the other one?
Well, right?
Sigma. But
Sigma's definitely.
I wouldn't label Sigma. Yeah.
Sigma's definitely a thing. Okay,
So
and Diva is also spam, and Diva is also dive.
and Diva is just
Diva's
God tier.
just Diva is the best off tank in the game. If you can master her, you're doing well.
Yep.
Instant GM.
Basically, she does so much.
That's the hardest part of her, though.
Normally, the off tanks that we're running are Diva, and Sigma. You can go Roadhog to BM, like if you just need. So let's go over each one of these. Let's go over Zarya first. I want shit. That's what I want. All right. What does Zarya like to do? What's Zarya's job?
Zarya's job is to make sure that anyone who's normally affected by anti gets it off of them and or like bubble Reinhardt so he can just aggress really easily and get charge.
So bubble management.
Yeah.
There's two things that we do with it.
Yes.
One you just said.
Soak abilities.
Cleanse. So get purples, hacks, stuff like that. What's another thing that we do with it?
Protection. So like if someone's super weak,
Charge
like your Ana's
ourselves.
getting dived. Oh, sorry, yeah.
And then there's a third thing that we do that you just said.
Protection. Making sure like if Ana's getting dived, you can bubble her so she can take some damage.
Block shit. Block cooldowns, block ultimates, block damage, stuff like that. And then, of course, so we can charge ourselves and do damage. Zarya is a DPS hidden as a tank, just like BAP is a
Roadhog.
DPS is hidden as a support.
Oh.
Same thing with Roadhog. Okay, let's talk about Diva. What's her biggest thing? Why do you play Diva?
Peel.
Peel. How does she do that?
She has her defense matrix and her fly, and those are the two biggest forms of peel for her. But really, the most effective thing for her is being able to peel and easily kill an enemy that's on top of your backline.
Fly, and then missiles do a lot of damage. Okay, so why would we pick Diva over Zarya?
Diva has a lot more mobility and can easily negate like
Diva
90%
does
of the damage in the game.
all of this stuff. She doesn't do as much damage than a full charge Zarya, but she does all of this stuff just as well or better because she's faster.
Yeah,
She has mobility.
that and she has more uptime with her damage negate.
But Zarya, and also, so we want to do damage so we can build Grav.
Yes.
Grav is one of the best ultimates in the game. So are you guys starting to like see a pattern for like what a default is and like what a job is for a tank?
Yes.
It's basically hold space, do damage to build your ult, and use your ult effectively.
Okay.
Okay. Anything you want to add at this point, Cusco?
You're muted.
I'm gonna take that as a no. He's probably AFK.
Okay.
Negative. I was in the restroom. Sorry.
Oh, word. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about spam now. So Brawl is a little more it's definitely I'd say compared to spam, it's definitely the faster of the two.
Yes.
So but with spam, we control lanes and do damage from a lot of different angles.
Lane control is infinitely more important for tanks on spam than brawl.
Yep.
Than any other comp. It's gonna be spam. That's where you're gonna want a lane control.
Right. So it's
Gotcha.
for lane control. It's your job to understand what's going on in all three lanes and make sure that you're providing value to your team, and value is another thing that we talked about in the other video. Providing value so that you can control all three lanes.
Gotcha.
And the most value you're gonna get from controlling lanes is space. Space is definitely your friend.
Yeah.
This applies to both tanks. Okay. Sigma. Okay. Sigma likes to flank. Roadhog likes to flank. So these are pretty much like our flanking tanks or our lane control types of tanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me think here. I think we're about ready to watch some gameplay, but I'm trying to think that I think that I missed something.
We didn't really talk through the jobs of each composition.
We're gonna talk about composition jobs later.
Got it.
I think it's the philosophy is that if you guys learn the jobs of your roles, it'll be much easier to then learn the job of a composition.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of the times you guys are wanting to stay in one of like the three compositions, but I actually want us to focus more on hybrid comps.
Okay.
Because I think that'll play more to our team strengths from what I've seen so far. All right. Can someone get me a code?
Yes,
look
I'm
at?
in the game.
There are a couple of codes in the Scrimco chat. You have that from last night. We could talk about the night before. Rialto. I think Rialto would be a good one because we played some different kind of comps there.
Yeah. I think Rialto is probably, I think it's the map we probably did the best on. We actually got close to getting it all three.
Okay.
But we still seem to have a lot of issues on top of that.
Did you guys get close? I don't remember because I was sitting.
Yeah,
off
so I remember because I got a weird bomb playoff, but we got to the third objective, or like on corner.
Oh, you guys did like all
where the stair platform is.
Okay, yeah.
8 PP 1
AO1?
HN 8 PP.
Hey yo.
The peak go off.
Welcome to Real Ready.
All right.
Oh, by the way, thank you for doing this, Jed.
Oh yeah, happy to. Okay. Control P. Let's talk about our tanks. So what are we playing?
Playing spam.
We're playing
basically.
Orisa, and we're playing
Smugma.
what's a good color? I think red's like the best color here. Yeah. So we're playing Orisa and Sigma. So Bren, what are your jobs here as Orisa? What's your job? What are you doing for the team?
I need to make sure, as a result, I need to call my polls a lot. I need to make sure that we're holding advantageous positions because I'm playing main tank now,
Okay, so think bigger. Why are you doing all that stuff?
so we can stop the objective.
Are we on
So we can
defense right
murder.
now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so use position and CDs/abilities to stop the cart. Stop the cat. All right.
Stop the gap.
Where should you be standing generally?
We talking as a team. I think we decided high ground, but besides that, just putting shield on corners so we can take the corners.
What
and
lane?
have-
What lanes do you generally
play.
control?
Oh, main.
Main.
That makes more sense.
What's another one that you want to pay attention to?
Left lane.
Left lane.
The answer's all of them. It was a trick
Oh,
question.
okay.
Gotcha. And this
Son of
is
a
going
bitch.
to be contextual.
I gotta mute my Discord 1 sec.
This when I say contextual, it's going to be dependent upon what's going on. Okay. Cusco, what are some other jobs that Orisa has in this?
I actually can't read the jobs. I'm not gonna lie, 'cause you chose red.
Okay.
I can't see what's written down already. So I'm gonna assume we covered them all, so we're good.
Did we cover them all?
Use position to cooldowns to stop the cart moving.
Yeah.
Control lanes. That's basically it.
Control lanes. This color is even worse. Maybe I can find a wall.
Look at the sky. Or you could do that.
Find a wall. I love that.
Yeah, let's put the red text on a red wall. Hold on.
I'm telling you, the sky would look good because it's blue.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
Shit, the sun's bright as
Oh,
hell.
there we go. Okay.
Okay.
Sun hurt. Looks like a
I'm in a
Pixar, movie. Save brain cells.
This one's
Caught
better.
you on camera.
Maybe a nice dark yellow will work best. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one works.
Okay, now let's talk about Sigma. What are Sigma's jobs? Oh, also another job we have: do damage, build bongo.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, what's Sigma's job?
Damage. I don't play Sigma that much.
Yeah, so
damage.
we control a
Shield
lane
when Nugget doesn't have it.
by doing damage. Where are we positioned?
With the Orisa.
Near Orisa enough to peel, but controlling another lane.
All right.
So one of the points of spam. Oh my god, that's horrible. One of the points of spam are long sightlines on 2 control lane. You're very bad up close. And look for picks from people that are just being silly. Also, control rotation spots. So a great example here is Rialto's second. So what does the enemy have to cross in order to contest second point?
A big ass bridge.
Right. So we want to be thinking about spaces like this where we have to control. And this is part of lane control and taking space. Like what are the key parts of the map that we need to be taken care of? That's generally where we want to be positioned. Okay.
Okay.
I think we're ready to watch some gameplay. Are we? Any other questions? We kind of getting like a better idea of what this is.
Yes, I will warn we do swap off of spam at one point.
Okay, that's cool.
Sweet.
Attackers incoming in 30
Everyone
seconds.
signed their life insurance policies?
A disciplined mind is your most dependable ally.
Five, four,
Oh, this is a match. Cool. Like we don't have to. It's not a script.
incoming.
So already, let's take a look. Where are we already positioned already?
On the high ground, controlling main lane, but we're very grouped up.
Right. So, Z, where do you think you should be instead? Instead of here, where do you think you should be?
Probably front high ground or no?
Yeah. So you can be here or you can be here. Which one do you think is better?
We'll run on to my right. As in,
This one?
no, the bottom one. I
This
said the
one?
bottom.
You think this one's? Why do you think this one's better?
Oh, no. You're right. It should be the left one. I could easily evade through.
Exactly. You have an escape route.
Yeah.
You have cover. We will also want to have cover. So, Brad, your escape route would be like right here, and then Bap can heal you or whatever. So that way we attack them from this direction, and we attack them from this direction. And we probably want to have one of our DPS with us as well. Okay? Cool.
Yeah.
But let's see how it plays out.
My barrier is destroying me. Back to me.
Yeah, this is fine. So we're getting into an offlane, but we're letting them move, though. Why did we come off a high ground, Bren?
We made the call to drop.
So, okay. If you were standing here, would you still be contesting cart?
I have no idea.
The answer
But
is
I'm
yes.
assuming yes, because that's where you're saying it.
You would. So that's a mechanic that we need to understand as tank players is what the area of effect is on contesting the cart. So you dropping from high ground and then going to face them on main,
Like a brawl.
like a brawl, did that put you at an advantage or a disadvantage?
Disadvantage because we're not brawl, we're running spam.
Right. So you essentially traded high ground for what?
Brawl positioning.
Brawl positioning,
we're
which
not
puts
brawl.
you at a double. So you gave up a lot to get little. So that's a net negative decision. You get into more of that into the video that we'll be posting later on like what a player's value, but like that's a bad trade, basically. Instead, and also they're still moving the cart, right?
Yeah.
We want to stop them from moving the cart. So if you just stood here, now Sigma could have dropped, and then you guys now have more opportunities to angle and get a kill. But one of you should have stayed up here. Like you, I guess, Bren, you could have done that. But I think Sigma's easier. Would have been a little bit better. So, but general with spam tanks, we want to, especially against Brawl, we want to pincer them. All right, so I'm going to gander that you guys lose this fight. Let's see, though. Okay, we're down one. Yeah. So why did we lose that fight? Do we remember?
Because we didn't control our high ground and take our fight. We let them just walk on top of us as we all dropped and played in brawl positioning on a spam comp.
Exactly. Why did we do that? I don't know. Let's just not do that ever again.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Okay, so now we're going to match them. That's fine.
And we make the call that we have a Zen over Lucio.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
All right, so we're giving them a lot of cart space right now. I would like to see us look to be taking an engagement. We're just giving them a lot of cart for free right now. Like, do you understand that?
Yeah.
Like how basically we could have contested him right here, right?
Yeah.
Like just drop down on him. Keep your BAP up here. as we were like pussyfooting around up here, we gave him all this cart. Do we kind of like? I don't know why we did that, but do we see like we just gave all of this space up for free? And you guys do this a lot. You just give them space when you don't need to give them space. That goes into playing faster. So, remember, when you're on defense, you want to suck this out of them as much as you can. And when you're on attack, you want to take every little bit of time and advantage you can get. All right, but it looks like you guys are about to engage. So let's see what happens. Cool. I like that pin. Nice. Chase soldier. Very good. Yeah, that was awesome. We should have done that 15 seconds ago.
Yeah, because so far in this game, this is the second fight.
All right, so
Yeah.
this phase is what we call the post fight. What do we do during the post fight?
Reposition and get ready to take an advantage position.
Yeah, that's part of it. So let's talk post fight. We ult track. The best ult trackers are the off tank and the main support. Why is the off tank and the main support generally the best ult trackers?
Because they're the one that like sees the effect of most fights.
Yeah, they
Does that make
are
sense?
generally in position to pay attention the most. Because main tank, you got like a bunch of flashing lights at you. There's just a lot of things going on. DPS, you kind of just need to shut up and play and hit your shots. Flex support's the same way. Just shut up, play, hit your shots. Then again, there are a lot of comms flex support can make. Anyway, but so main support is like really in the back. I don't really know what support Zen would be at this point, but whatever. Anyway, we're not talking about supports today. We're not talking about supports today. We're talking about tanks. So it's part of the off tank job to be, that there's that peeling thing. Oh my gosh. I gotta change colors.
Just move the camera to the white wall.
That's where that peeling effect comes in, because we need to understand and pay attention to everything going on. That includes who's doing what, how long it's been. Anyway, but we're talking about post fight, so we ult track. So we ult track to do what? So that we can know what to do.
Understand the positioning we have to take. Like if Zarya has Grav, we probably shouldn't be playing directly in front of them.
Fight
As a team,
plan.
we should be able to split.
We fight plan. What ults do we use? Basically, how do we stop them
From getting
from
value.
doing the thing? Okay, and since we won the fight, we get to also plan where it happens. Okay? And if you lose, you get to plan when it happens. If lost. So this fight we won. And just for the sake of argument, we know they have Shatter. We know they have Visor. We know they have Window, but we're not really sure on Beat. So where do we plan? What ults are we going to use to stop them from doing that? And where do we take the fight?
We should probably plan on Bridge. Bridge is a really hard
Yeah.
place to take, but it also makes it hard for our main
We
tank. to
want
play.
to make their life hell getting across this bridge. And why don't we want them to get across this bridge?
Because it's extremely. There's no cover. Like
Right, we don't
they just
want
have to play out in the open.
We don't want to give them the opportunity to push card, which is somewhere right there.
And we have more damage because we're running Zen, so we can just hold up there and we have the quote unquote advantage.
Okay.
At this point, you guys have infinitely more space than they do, because where they are and where you are, there's so much space in between you and them. If you hold on the bridge, look at how much space it takes for them to get to cart. It still takes them time.
Right. And what lanes can you control to have POV of this spot?
We can hold where our soldier is. We can hold where I am as Diva.
Yep, we can hold
We can
there.
hold the nose.
And you can probably have someone right here. Maybe right here. Yeah. So we want to make sure that we have people. So who are people that could be doing damage right now?
Soldier and Zen.
Yeah, we want to make
For the
sure our
most
soldier and Zen are in one of these spots and not sharing one of those spots.
And Bap.
Yeah, Bap can be doing spam damage also. Ryan will be positioned here so he can get in. And do you understand why that is, Z-Day? Why do you want to stand here and not here?
I can take cover. When
Right.
I'm getting
So
overwhelmed.
if they try to contest, get past this spot, you're in position to not let them. And hopefully our BAP is like right here, right here. These are the types of things that we need to get to the point where it's just instinctive, like we know to do this. Okay, and that's what we do during the post fight, that that like 4 seconds or so, that maybe it's like 10, 15 seconds before the next thing happens. So let's continue. See if we do that.
Get behind. Got you good as new.
So again, we just gave him that space. But this might be okay since they're coming high ground.
Tactical visor activated.
So why did we back up so much? Do we know?
I called my shield was low, so I was backing up.
Shield's not that low. And you're shooting their shields. I think you could have taken a fight a little bit sooner.
Tactical visor.
So Kuzco, what do you see here? When do you think watch this clip and see when you think a good time to engage would have been?
Get behind. Got you good as new.
Now,
From where?
high ground. Go high ground. Meet him there.
So call to rotate your team up here. And does that make sense? Because they want to come up here, and if you just stand here, you have cover, and they're going to have a lot of resources just to get through, and you get a lot of cleave damage right here because it's a very small thing. Do you see why? Does it make sense, Z-Day?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes when your shield's low and you're in no man's land, sometimes backing up is the worst of the two evils.
Yeah.
Because if you die up there, at least they have to use a lot to get to you. And there is a chance that you can still win the fight, down one.
And another thing that we have to keep in mind, that they want to take this space, right? If they take this space, that's bad for us, right?
Right.
So why would we let them take it? Those are things to think about. Like why? Like if you find yourself backing up, just ask yourself, why am I backing up? Like what am I backing up for? Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think we're kind of getting some general consensuses on attack on defense. Let's watch this fight out, and then we'll move to your attack for the sake of time. Let's watch Brent here. So with Diva, what do you want to be eating cooldown? So looking for things like missiles, soldier rockets. So there's no need to make sure
That was a desperate step.
You can't matrix a charge.
Yeah. I thought about that right after I did it. Like, I should have shot there.
Ah, dang. That's okay. Nice. All right, cool. Now what's going through your guys' head right now? Where are we in the rhythm of like the game?
I think right here I actually call out to come up top so we can spam bridge.
Okay. So we understand we're in the post fight. Good. And that we're all tracking and we're fight planning. And then we're getting in our positions. It's kind of like, a surprise party. Like everyone's got to get in their positions. You want everyone.
Yeah. I think we call Ryan that has shatter, and we know everyone else just use their all.
Okay, let's go to defense.
Attack.
So they cap it all the way. That's what I meant. Thank you. They cap it all the way. With 3 minutes left on the clock. Okay, so I'm going to guess you guys got rolled on third because you gave them a lot of space. That's just a guess, though. We kind of already got what we needed.
Ready for battle. 5, 4, 3,
So it looks like we're rotating right
1. Attack
Yes.
with Lucio. Okay.
Escort the payload.
Dang. You guys are getting messed up. So let me ask you this. Why did we decide to go right instead of just pushing the cart?
I think we had pushed main on the other map we played, and we decided it'd probably be best to try to get a flank play and just surprise them and win the fight. But it just didn't work out.
You think going right's going to surprise them?
The reason was that I said that they might have double shield, so I thought that we should go right instead of down main. But I guess that wasn't the right call.
Word, yeah. And support VOD tomorrow. We'll talk about scouting. And off tanks can scout too.
Yeah.
So really what this did is you guys going this way, you guys spent a lot of time in this really small corridor, right? So in the meantime, you're charging the hell out of their ults and you're not even moving cart.
Yeah.
So again, these types of like rotational and like positional plays, we want to be thinking about what are we giving to get this position and what are we gaining to get this position. So if you got kills, if you killed them hella fast, awesome. I'm kind of thinking that like since they're rush, and we're going to assume that we knew that from scouting, we just get on cart and just chill. And when they come to us, they come to us. But at a certain point, we do want to start, pushing them back because we don't want this train to stop, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So remember, our default is to control lanes and push the cart. All right, what am I doing? Right. I don't know, Cusco, what'd you think about that? Did you like this rotation that they did?
Not really, honestly.
I wanted to say that the flank, while it might surprise lower levels, it's still not a great place to be because you're giving up, because they still have high ground and you have a corridor.
Yeah.
If you go down main, you have 2 high grounds at least and a small amount of heals from cart.
Exactly. We kind of want to leave right lane for flankers to get through.
Yeah. You guys going through the right lane there doesn't do anything for you, and it doesn't do anything to them, right? Because you're not on cart. They don't have to worry about. They can just win the fight. They just have to worry about winning the fight.
Right. Or
you guys have to worry about winning the fight and getting good position.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's continue. Oh, please tell me you don't go again. Okay, great.
No,
This is good. Getting high ground control.
That was scouting.
Peeling for your DPS. Excellent. Why are we leaving cart? Okay. This is fine. We're getting high ground control. This is okay. I'm okay with this. Where did our other DPS go? Okay, this is fine. He fucked off. We're pushing cart. Okay. All right, there's just messed up the mechanics. It's okay. It happens. We want to go backwards. All right, so your escape was good. Onto high ground was great. We just needed a backup. You peeked for no reason.
Yeah, I thought we were still fighting this. That's so I was trying to keep our Kree alive, and then our Kree backed out.
Gotcha.
I didn't realize it because Saber goes kind of quiet when we play, so he didn't call he was back now. I was
Gotcha,
like,
gotcha.
oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so
whatever.
this is lost. Maybe it's a 4v4. Yeah, you should fight it out. It's a 4v4. Now it's a 3v3. Now it's a 4v3.
And I-
Definitely go with
And I
go.
live here.
Okay. Okay. What was going on there? Shh.
Огонь по готовности.
It's our BAP. Okay. All right, were we aware that we were down our BAP?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Doesn't seem like it. I can check comms real quick.
So one thing I want you guys to start looking for are engagement cues. And if you don't see any opportunities like this, I don't want you to engage. Just play cart. So if you knew that we were down BAP, do you agree that it was a good idea to take a big fight pretty much off cart?
No,
No, why?
because Orion's gonna have to go into a brawl against their Orion who has more heals, and he's easily just gonna get wrecked.
Exactly. Their Ryan is good to be aggressive. So we likely want to play around cart, but like disengage a little bit while we're waiting for our BAP to come back. Because right now, what's our only source of healing?
Lucia.
Yeah, more of a passive. Low heals, but consistent. And supports will talk about different types of healing as well. Actually, tanks really need to know about the different types of healing that you have available. So there's passive, there's direct, and there's AoE. This color's horrible. Do this one. So if you have your AoE healer, which is Moira or BAP, and this is Anna and Mercy. When you have, your big healers, you're able to get away with more. So if you have that, you can definitely engage a little bit more. But if you don't, we want to be a little bit more passive. That's just something, again, to be thinking about in the future. Anything you want to add, Cusco?
No, I'd say the beginning of this fight worked out better because talking back to the previous fight, you guys had an idea, right? You guys took high ground, but you still had cart moving, right? So at least you were forcing a position.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's it.
Right.
That's all I got.
Okay. Let's watch one more fight, and then we gotta call it.
Огонь по готовности.
Yeah. So now that they have
That was a shit
5v4.
bomb, by the way.
So it's a 5v5, but you're down a flex support who's just got here, and you're down they're down a DPS. Probably gonna win. All right, one more fight. You guys get it? Yeah, you probably
Yeah,
get it.
we get all the way to third.
Okay. We're going up to meet them. All right, let me ask you this. Cusco, do you agree with the pathing that they took? Did you see what they did?
Yeah.
You do agree with it?
Yes and no. I think the pathing was fine. I think you guys should have waited for your McCree for the engage.
Okay.
Okay, what do you mean?
Like forcing them off high ground isn't a bad idea, but they were doing it. You guys took a 5v6.
That stun would have been good for Blossom.
Yeah. True.
5 fucking seconds.
Oh, nice block. Okay. All right, they just ulted. You know what? That's actually, I'm okay with that because we baited an ult out of them.
There was some big.
And we still get the Reaper.
Like,
Also-
you just walked at them and they just threw an ult at you. That's fine.
Also, this is the second time that the same heroes did their ultimates at the same exact time. The Rhines shattered each other earlier, and that last fight, the Reapers
Engaging again.
at the same time.
This looks fine. Okay, we're pushing them back. Cool.
Okay.
Big slam. Nice. Calling out this Reaper. Okay, so I like where Zarya is. I like that Ryan's on cart. I actually want Ryan to be pushed up a lot more. All right, so you guys actually like to do this a lot. This will be the last thing we talk about. We like to do this a lot for some reason. Okay. Looking at the screen, did we win the fight?
Yeah.
Yes.
We did. So, in tanks, the things that we want to be looking for are space, and into which we can control. And so, from looking at this in hindsight, where do you guys think you should be being?
We should be pushing up so we can take the choke up.
Right.
Yeah,
So
I
they
think
can't push
here
through and
we
take us.
recall that we had no healers though.
Because now that bridge is also choked. Yeah, and then I think we made a call that we have no heals, so we were playing
Just
careful.
stacking cart.
I don't think we should stack cart. We should still
Yeah,
push
because
up.
we're dead.
But we need to
Both
play careful.
healers. I think you did push up. Yeah, so I'm
Yeah,
thinking
I
like
take a
because of
awful
that,
position.
definitely like be a little bit right here, just to try to deny anybody from because we want to move the cart. So ideally, we want to be hold. If we had healers, we would be on fucking bridge right here, with one on the cart.
Yeah.
But since we don't have healers, yeah, maybe like right here or right here. So I'm okay with that. But what are we doing right now?
We're piling on cart, and
Yeah, we're just kind of fun. But I think we get it based on time.
we do. We get it.
Let's take a look. See here. Yeah, you can still fight these. Definitely wanted a DPS controlling lane, but we'll talk about that in DPS VOD.
Yeah. I was just saying, I don't think you guys got this because the soldier got on top of you guys.
You get it somehow. No, you don't. You don't get
Oh
it.
no, we don't.
Yeah.
What am I thinking of?
You're thinking of
say.
Hollywood.
I'm thinking of the scrim.
Or Hollywood, either one. Because Hollywood, we actually made it to third point.
Yeah, that one
I didn't
seems.
jackpot that last fight. I took an awful position.
Yeah, we definitely wanted our Ryan up a little bit more and a DPS controlling this high ground. But we'll talk about that in
Yeah.
DPS VODs. And then
And-
probably
and
a DPS on
instead of
cart,
it.
and then Zarya ready to bubble Ryan.
Yeah,
Okay.
instead I took the high ground and I couldn't bubble line. That was just a bad call from me.
All right, so let's review as we wrap up here. I want my black screen. Awesome.
Victory.
All right. So, tank defaults. Zen and Bran and Otto. What are they?
Control space or lanes.
Okay.
Control
yeah,
space.
control lanes, protect back line, protect team. in general.
What's the reason why we want to do this?
Control space.
So you can either push the cart or not, or stop the cart.
So you can control the objective, depending
That's
upon
better.
whichever
Yeah, that's
thing.
better. Sorry.
Yep. That's why I'm over here on this side. Anyway, that was a joke. You can laugh. Anyway. Space lanes control the objective. Confirm kills when you can. And of course, we do all this by confirming kills when we can, using cooldowns effectively. And that includes ults. Okay, so what's Brad, what's one thing you learned from this that you're going to apply on Wednesday in your play?
That I can stay on the high ground and re-alto to contest the card as Orisa, and that I need to be playing more passive as Orisa than trying to get in their face.
Off tank is for off lanes. Main tank is for main lanes. Isn't that fun?
I did not know that.
Makes a lot of sense.
Card from that high ground.
I didn't either. I will be using that a lot now.
So, and Zide,
Just
what's
flat things.
going to be your goal for Wednesday, from what you learned just now?
Wait, what's happening Wednesday?
We're having a goal scrim.
The goal script.
All right.
It was in that essay that I wrote.
More towards the
I'm
end.
not gonna be there.
We have 2 other DPS.
And we could have Zazu if he actually shows up.
He said he's having.
Anyway, we can
something
talk
wrong with-
about schedule after we're done recording. We're close. Zide, what's your goal for Wednesday?
To play closer to them on defense, anyways, and
Right.
Give them.
Stop giving them free space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And thank you, dear viewers, for. Oh, and anything else before we wrap up here, from anyone?
I think another thing we'll work on, but I think we should do like a team view of it. Is I think we have a lot of issues with communicating between positioning for DPS and tanks and who should stand where.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
The comms are going to be one of the reasons why we want to go through defaults is because they drastically simplify comms.
Our comms are very, very, very scrambled.
Right. 'Cause
Yeah,
there's
we
a
have
lot there's a lot of micromanaging, and this is another thing defaults want to do, because really we want to learn our defaults so that we learn to trust each other a lot more, and that there can be less micromanaging. And when there's less micromanaging, there's more room for strategizing. And eventually we'll get to a point where we have default strategies for what they have and what space they have and such, depending upon the context of it. But right now we have to start with the dirty basics, the simple basics.
Gotcha.
Well, I guess my goal scrim is going to be a collegiate match.
Okay, so Cusco, you got anything?
Nope.
All right then. Dear viewer, thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you guys next time where we talk about support defaults.